I've seen the security hologram of him, beheading younglings.
Sheddakin, why? You were sent to destroy the Sith, not join them!
There is another.
Well, hello again, good people. Hi, it's me, Jason with Green Country Agroforestry, back again on a Saturday, which can mean one thing and one thing only. It's time for another episode of Shed Wars. And today, we're waging war against poor mental attitude. Poor mental attitude, that's right. Because out here in the real world, in the garden, sometimes things happen. We have storms, we have rain, we have freak frost. Things do not go according to plan, and there are setbacks. I had one not too long ago where I transplanted out my peppers and tomatoes early, and we wound up with most of them just getting demolished by the frost, and that was a setback. But I'm here to tell you, whenever things like this happen in nature, nature doesn't give up. Nature gets up and nature keeps on going, and you've got to learn to do the same thing. Let me show you something. This right here is a tomato plant that only a few weeks ago was dead all the way down to the roots. And if you look, see? New foliage growing up from the roots. Now I can only attribute this to the mycorrhizal fungi inoculant that I used on these plants whenever they were still in the greenhouse, even though they were killed all the way down to the surface of the soil. The roots were kept alive and fed by those mycorrhizal fungi. And now, they're making a recovery. What is this? That is a basil plant. I'm going to trim off the dead stuff right there. But that's a basil coming back from the roots. And over here, there's a sweet pepper coming back from the roots. You may recall in a previous episode when I was talking about planting the Anasazi beans, only having 2 of them germinate, and then trying out a technique to get some more to germinate and get them planted. Well, we did that, and, well, let me show you. Okay. Alright, so I'll probably try to get some more of these to sprout. Maybe I can get some more backups just in case, because these are still very, very tentatively sprouted, just barely popping through. But I want to show you real quick here is the way you get a sprouted bean planted. Now, ordinarily, if you're just dropping the beans in a hole and letting them sprout on their own, the seed is going to turn itself so that the root is down and the foliage is pushing upwards. But these are very old beans. They don't have a lot of energy in them, and I want to give them their best chance. So what I want to do is insert them into the ground with that sprout. That's the root facing down. And as that bean grows, it's going to push upwards. You'll notice that, well, you can't see it now. Well, I guess there's, you can see on the sides of that plant there, that's the little brown stuff on the side. That's the remnant of the old seed case that the leaves pushed up and out of. So the bean, whenever it sprouts, raises up and then unfolds from the 2 halves of the seed. But that sprout that's on the bottom where the little button, the little eye is, that's down. So we're going to orient these down. I don't need the scissors on me right now, to give them just the best chance of getting going. So I'm going to take my finger, that's 1 inch from the joint to the fingertip. Just push that in. It's about 1/2 inch. Alright. And then very, very carefully take our bean and orient it so that the root, the sprout, is down. We cover it with a little bit of soil. We're going to have to water these in good. And now let's take a look. There's the 2 Anasazi beans that sprouted whenever we planted them. And here there's a 3rd and a 4th. And just beginning to peek up out of the soil, that's a 5th. you're going to fail. But I'm here to tell you, when that happens, the thing you've got to do is get back out and try again. Try better. Fail again. Fail better. I got that one from my daughter. She's brilliant. This is one of 2 European alder trees that I had imported from Portugal. They arrived here when it was still pretty cold out, and this one suffered a lot of frost damage. I didn't think it was going to recover. I thought it was all the way dead, but you'll notice right down here, coming up from the roots, fresh growth. I'm going to prune off this dead stuff though, to let it go and let it grow. There we go. European alder tree. It's going to make it. Well, nearly losing the alder trees, that was disappointing, but of course they've come back, and we were very fortunate because it was already starting to become spring and they were coming out of dormancy whenever they were over there in the nursery in Portugal. But of course winter here hadn't quite given up the ghost yet. But there's another thing that I've discovered recently. This will just blow your socks off. I wanted to get a couple of Yaupon holly trees started for the front yard woodland garden area. And I ordered them up and I had them arrive at the same time that the new hazelnut trees were arriving so I could plant the hazelnuts during their dormant period. But I'd forgotten, holly trees are evergreens. And shipping a large evergreen in the middle of winter and trying to plant it usually doesn't work out very well. As a result, I wound up with 2 what I thought were dead holly trees, but I want you to take a look at something. Well, I pruned off the dead material, but look at that green stuff. Does that holly tree look dead to you? Well, it sure doesn't to me. Deep underground in the soil, due to that 100% contact method of planting that I employ, the roots survived. We're going to have Yaupon holly after all. All this just goes to show you, whenever you get knocked down, get back up. That's what nature does. She doesn't give up, she doesn't quit, and she doesn't surrender. Neither should you. Good people, that's all I've got for you right now. So, as always, found the video informative, please hit the like button. Don't forget to leave your comments down below, subscribe to the channel, share this video, bang the notification bell, and I will catch you next time.